Hey guys, Pasay Baller here. This fifth game for today, December 19, 2022, is between two Western Conference teams, Dallas Mavericks visiting Minnesota Timberwolves. That game will actually start at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, so that's going to be 9 o'clock a.m. here in Manila. By the way, I'm just inviting everyone who have not subscribed yet to our YouTube account or YouTube channel, Pasay Baller. Please click on the subscribe button below. At the same time, hit on that bell logo. That way, automatically, you guys will be receiving notifications whenever new videos are uploaded. And let me go ahead and take a look at the spread on this as it has been changing. Um, Let me see if there have been any changes. It is still at -4, and that's actually given towards Dallas Mavericks' direction. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look first at the standings and the rankings of both teams. All right, just like what I said, both teams belong to the West. So starting with Dallas Mavericks, they are at number 9 in the Western Conference with a record of 15 wins and 15 losses. And right behind him is actually Minnesota Timberwolves with the same record, 15 wins and 15 losses, but they are ranked number 10. Okay, so both teams they got the same record. So the winner of this game would actually go right ahead of each other. All right, here we go. Minnesota Timberwolves, they would have the home court advantage on this in terms of fatigue, while Dallas Mavericks would have the advantage because Minnesota, they were playing last night against Chicago Bulls while Dallas Mavericks were having their rest. In terms of momentum, well, we got to give it to Minnesota Timberwolves as well, man. They just actually won last night. That was a huge win against Chicago Bulls. It was a 24-point win, if I'm not mistaken. And approaching this game, the Wolves they are on back-to-back wins, while Dallas Mavericks they just lost their game. I guess that was last Saturday or Sunday. They were up against Cleveland Cavaliers, something 1 point, right? Yeah. Anyway, so the Wolves they got the momentum. So let's go ahead and take a look at the availability of the players. Now this is long. Okay, let me start with Dallas Mavericks. I see Josh Green and Kliber being out of this game. Now there are a lot of other players listed who are tagged as questionable. Okay, so those would be Bertans, Luca, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Dwight Powell. That's crazy, man. Those four would really determine as to how the game of Dallas Mavericks would be like. So again, this is something that's hard. Whenever a certain player or players are on questionable status, sometimes you just don't know. Which side are you going to be taking on, right? Now for Minnesota Timberwolves, they are just like that. Um, Towns is still out, and we have Rudy Gobert, John McLaughlin, Terayan Prince, and Naz Reid listed as questionable. But the beauty about this is that Rudy Gobert and Naz Reid they are tagged as a day to day, and that's like a bit better than questionable, right? In terms of possibility or probability of them playing, there's a higher possibility. I'm talking about the status of Gobert and Naz Reid, right? But if you take a look at it, man, it's going to be so hard to choose between the two teams because there are a lot of names listed down here. So if I were you guys, I'm just gonna put the hold on this. I'm not gonna put money on this game at least yet, and perhaps wait for the final quote unquote results of the list for this particular game. But if you would ask me right now, considering everything that we're seeing, I'm gonna side with Minnesota Timberwolves, and I'm gonna take that +4 just in case. I know Minnesota Timberwolves they are at home, so that's one thing. They are coming off wins, so that's another thing. And we just don't know whether Gobert and Reed will be playing. But again, just like I said, the possibility would be higher because they are now tagged as day to day and no longer questionable. Um, I know Dallas would have an advantage in terms of fatigue because they rested last night, but Minnesota just won last night, and just like what I've been saying for years now, whenever you're coming off a win, sometimes you don't feel any stress and any fatigue. So I'm gonna side with Minnesota on this with the +4. But if you want to have some some deeper shit, or some more accurate stuff, you can go ahead and just perhaps wait until the final result of the availability of the roster would be would be launched maybe 1 hour before the game. But for now, it's Minnesota +4. Peace out, pass I love, and God bless.